WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. All is quiet now, but people spent much of the day cleaning up after straight-line winds and golf ball size hail moved across North Mississippi last night.
That's right. Monroe County was hit particularly hard, and that's where we find WCBI's Victoria Bailey. She's joining us live now with more on the damage there. Victoria.
That's right. I'm at the intersection of
might not have clothes on our back, but we still got our life.
Thanks to last night's storm, for Shanae Hughes, her world is upside down.
I got a phone call. I was at work, of course, Hometown Pizza. I was on a delivery, and I get a call, said a tree fell on your home. I'm like, okay. You know, I'm thinking, ain't nothing, so I get there and it's through the house.
Hughes says her initial concern wasn't the house, but her family.
And all I could think about was my child. And then gets there, a tree through the bedroom, one down in the yard, one across the street, windows broken. Total loss. I could have lost a life because that's normally around about their bedtime. Could have just been me with no kids. But thank the Lord, everybody got a life.
Bunky Goza is the Emergency Management Agency Director for Monroe County, and he says the city is definitely seeing significant damage, but things could have been way worse.
As most important with any event, there's no injuries, no loss of life, and everyone's accounted for. That's the utmost priority any kind of situation happens. So, number one factor, that's great. Number two is the people are okay. You know, neighbors take care of neighbors. People got out to take care of themselves.
Goza says cleanup efforts began as soon as the storm stopped, but he needs the community's help to keep the process going.
We're not allowed to go on private property by state law. So what we're doing is the city of Amory came in last night, actually made a push to clear all the roads, which we did that last night. And what we're asking people to do is to bring the debris to the shoulders of the road, which can be picked up by the city of Amory.
Hughes says the timing of this storm couldn't have been at a worse time.
Unfortunately, I've been in the house, about a month, going on 2 months. Didn't have no rent, no homeowners insurance, nothing. Just us.
Now, Goza says that city and county sirens did go off. There are only for tornado warnings.
Yeah, and the city is a part of the Code Red system, which allows residents to receive notifications about all severe weather. The Hughes family is receiving assistance from the Red Cross. Also in Amory, several buildings were damaged, including a car dealership. Larry Clark Chevrolet took a large brunt of the storm. There is significant damage to the building, and close to 80 vehicles have everything from busted windows to dents. Sales manager Barrett Clark says the dealership is moving forward on the road to recovery.
Talked with the insurance company. They'll be heading in, flying in tonight. They're going to come in tomorrow, and we're going to do an assessment, sit down, and go from there. Oh, we're just thankful to live in a community where the people care. We've had a lot of people come by and check with us and so on, and a lot of the fire chief come by, police chief, the mayor. They were all here until last night till we closed. So.
The dealership will continue to have normal operating hours.
Well, those hailstorms like the one last night can cause a lot of damage to your house, and your roof is particularly vulnerable.
Yeah, WCBI's Selena Schaefer joins us live in the studio with just what you need to look for in your roof following these storms. Selena?
That's right. Most people first look to their windows and cars after a hailstorm, but the most unsuspected victim could be what's above you.
Unfortunately, you cannot repair hail damage because you can't put the granules back onto the shingles.
The last words any homeowner wants to hear. WCBI Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson says most of the area saw large hail. In fact, it covered portions of Highway 82 near Mathiston. There were also high winds Thursday evening and early Friday morning. Some of the busiest people today after these types of storms are roofers.
Insurance companies are going to first want to know that a licensed roofer has been to inspect the roof to determine whether or not there's any damage that the insurance company might cover.
Emily Redwood with Redwood Roofing in Starkville says her husband and their team do more inspections after severe weather. Starkville specifically experienced large amounts of small-sized hail mixed in with larger stones. Redwood's advice?
1 inch and greater, you can give us a call if your roof is 10 years old or older, for sure.
When doing an inspection, he looks for specific damage and markings.
For granule loss and then evidence of impact where there could be a divot in a shingle or fiberglass showing.
Something for homeowners to keep in mind.
Older roofs are more susceptible to impact damage, so it really sort of helps people that are going to have to replace their roof soon anyway to get the insurance companies to help with the bulk of that expense. And so we try to encourage people to wait for an event so that the insurance companies will help.
The wind damage is a lot easier to notice. Just to an untrained eye, you can see if the shingles have been lifted. Hail damage does require a little closer inspection.
Redwood says anytime you suspect there's damage, call a roofer to be sure.
Now, most home insurance policies do cover wind and hail damage. However, the amount of help you receive can vary based on several factors. Andrea?
All right, Selena in the studio with that story. Strong winds also causing some damage in Tupelo. This was the scene on Walnut Street near downtown. Thunderstorms moved through the area about 1:30 this morning. Limbs and debris were scattered throughout the city, and high winds sent part of this tree crashing into the roof of a duplex. No injuries were reported. Time for a first look at our forecast. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson here for that. Quite a different story at this hour.
That's right, Andrea. In Tupelo right now, we are looking at clear conditions, 55 degrees. Now, we have those northerly winds here, but not nearly as strong as what we had with those storms last night. So 50s for you in Tupelo, 60 still in Columbus, 68 or so farther to the south in Macon. Temperatures all over the place right now. A frost is possible tonight, especially in parts of Alabama, far north Mississippi, where we are expecting temperatures down into the mid to low 30s. Our forecast low average about 35. If you live in a low-lying spot, just cover the plants to be on the safe side. I'll be back with your full forecast in just a few minutes.
A FedEx truck driver is thrown from his rig after colliding with a U-Haul truck in Montgomery County. Troopers were called to I-55 just past the 185 exit about 8 this morning. The FedEx driver was airlifted to a Jackson hospital. His condition is unknown tonight. The U-Haul was pulling a car hauler. MHP is investigating the crash. We'll have more information as it becomes available. Columbus firefighters are trying to determine what sparked the blaze that heavily damaged a duplex. Firemen were called to 2412 College Street just after midnight. Thick smoke could be seen billowing from the duplex. A Columbus Fire and Rescue spokesman says the fire may have started in a unit that did not have electricity. However, someone was living there. No one was at either unit at the time of the fire. The cause of the blaze is still under investigation.
A mother and father in Atala County are indicted in the deaths of 3 children who died in a house fire. The 3 boys, ages 4 to 11, died in the fire on December the 10th. They were left home alone. Their parents are facing 3 counts of felony child neglect. Atala County Sheriff Jim Nell says 30-year-old Rachel Keith and 35-year-old John Leach are in jail awaiting court appearances. They're set to be arraigned Monday. Meanwhile, new information tonight in the child neglect arrest of a Starkville woman. Police are accusing Victoria Jones of locking a 4-year-old foster child out of her house. The child was reportedly outside for about an hour. Neighbors called police. In court documents, officers say they found the child soaking wet, cold, and shivering. The child was also begging to be let inside the house on Briarwick Drive. The little girl told police she was left outside in the dark to sit on a tall stool with a dog that apparently had previously bitten her. Jones was given a $5,000 bond after being charged with deprivation of necessities with substantial harm.
There will be no Republican candidate in the Columbus mayoral race on Monday. The Columbus Republican Municipal Executive Committee declined to certify Garthia Halbert, saying she did not meet the residency requirements. Halbert stated that she would appeal that ruling. The committee and Halbert set up a meeting to hear her side. However, she did not attend.
Longtime federal appeals court judge and Louisville native Grady Jolly will retire on his 80th birthday. Jolly has served on the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals since 1982. That court handles cases from Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. President Donald Trump will nominate a successor to the 22-member court. Former President Ronald Reagan chose the Ole Miss graduate to serve. Jolly's birthday is in October. A recent event paying off big for some Lee County schools.
Yeah, we take a look at who's cashing in when we come back.
You're watching WCBI News at 6 with Andrea Self and Joey Barnes.
Welcome back. 3 schools received big checks from the Tupelo Furniture Market. Guests at the Home and Accessory Show back in January were asked to cast ballots for the schools for a fundraiser. 3 favorite schools. The top 3 were Tupelo's Early Childhood Education Center, Shannon Primary, and the Oasis of Love Christian School. This morning, school representatives accepted the money.
We couldn't survive without community support. We are so blessed here in Tupelo that the businesses support us. The Early Childhood Center, we have so much support from local businesses, and we thank Mr. Cleveland and the Tupelo Furniture Market for their wonderful support.
First place received $1,000, second took $500, and the third place school got $250.
New Hope Middle School teacher grabs a pair of clippers before getting her first round of chemo today. Team NH Heroes Relay for Life kicks off with a haircut. Carson Latham allowed Mitzi Brown to shave his head. On Thursday, Brown was diagnosed with breast cancer. Latham wanted to shave his head to honor the teacher along with other educators and in memory of his grandfather. The school also dressed in purple for the event. Relay for Life in Lowndes County is April 28th.
Some cold temperatures for this time of year, at least relative to where we have been through the weekend into next week. Spring break, well, spring is taking a break. That's the forecast. The details are next.
Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Well, this is the weekend. We spring ahead Sunday morning. Set your clocks ahead 1 hour if you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning or before you go to bed. A lot of our electronic devices now will automatically reset themselves. Certainly good news, but you want to be on schedule. Don't forget about that on Sunday morning. Now, there could be a little bit of snow in the region Saturday night and Sunday morning, especially across the far northern tier of Mississippi and Alabama into Tennessee. At this point, maybe a few wet snowflakes mixing on in with the showers. Little to no accumulation here. No impacts expected at this point. Temperatures will be at or above freezing here. So a minor event if we do happen to see it. Now this morning, I ventured out to Caledonia Elementary School, the new one there, speaking to the 4th graders. This is class number 1. Hey everybody, how you guys doing? Yeah, we're all waving. Andrea, say hello. There you go. Okay, this is class number 2, talking about storms, severe weather, all that good stuff today. And go to WCBI.com and find our Emerson Animal Hospital submission form right there on the website under the weather section. Fill it out and let me know what you want me to talk about. If we come out to your school, go to our website and we'll try to schedule something. Now, we had some of those gusty winds earlier this morning. That was Caledonia, oddly enough. Before the visit, that was what was going on last night. And then we had some tree damage there in the Columbus area too. So in other places as well. So we had some wind, some hail over the last 24 hours today in Tupelo. Absolutely amazing. That's our Alpha Insurance time lapse from earlier today. Into the 50s and 60s right now. We are going to be cooling down into the 30s. The winds will gradually relax here. There are our forecast lows tonight. Mid-30s, some spots down into the lower 30s. That could support patchy frost here, especially in low-lying spots. So bring in the plants or protect them. Our planner for tomorrow, 43 at 9. 48 by noon, 51 at 4 o'clock with showers developing around here. And some of those showers will linger tomorrow night into Sunday morning, and then we'll pull that system away. We're looking at some 50s on Monday, scattered showers as well, but a cool 7-day forecast.
The madness begins for Ole Miss, trying to put a late run together in March to take them to the big dance. We preview their game tonight, next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further. WCBI coverage of the SEC tournament is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center, Advanced Medicine, Compassionate Care, and Ameriprise Financial Advisor Stephen Black in Columbus. Take charge of your dream for a confident retirement with Ameriprise Financial Services.
March Madness officially begins with a W for the Ole Miss Rebels. The Rebels looking to keep its run going tonight. Alabama advanced with a big win over South Carolina. Sports Director Robbie Donahoe has more from the Rebels in Nashville.
Thank you, Tom. We welcome you back here to Nashville, just outside of Bridgestone Arena. They are underway inside. It's Florida and Vanderbilt tipping off their contest in the quarterfinal round of the SEC men's basketball tournament. Coming up tonight, approximately 8:30 p.m. tip time, Ole Miss will look to continue their run here in Nashville, taking on the 3 seed in Arkansas. The Rebels, don't forget that loss to Arkansas back in the middle of February when the Razorbacks scored 98, hit 12 threes in the game. Ole Miss addressed facing the Razorbacks once again in last night's press conference, and they said they got to slow down that fastest 40 minutes of head coach Mike Anderson.
Something we got to do better is they've been in transition. We didn't prepare very good for it, and they just ran, the whole game. That's something we're going to be working on it for tomorrow, and we're going to be ready.
I mean, every time we made a shot or we missed a shot, they were just in transition, and we didn't do a good job getting back. So we just got to do a good job getting back in transition.
We're going to have to come out and play with great energy. Again, we'll tape them up, and we'll roll them out there, and hopefully we'll play better than we did in our first outing in Fayetteville.
The Razorbacks are currently a 4.5-point favorite in the game, but it's March. Anything can happen, and anything can happen with Ole Miss in the SEC tournament, as you're starting to get a little feeling that maybe 2013 coming back around. We'll have a full recap on our website at WCBI.com as the game will go late into the night on Friday. Reporting here in Nashville, Robbie Donahoe for WCBI Sports. Tom, let's toss it back down to you in Columbus.
Thanks, Robbie. 2A and 5A boys and girls hoop squads looking to come home with some hardware today at the Big House down in Jackson. We'll go over to the 2A boys. Baldwin Bearcats looking to bring home the gold ball after its buzzer beater on Tuesday facing Coahoma County. It was all Baldwin early on. Calvin Harris with the miss, but he's going to get found inside. Here's Harris for the finish for 2. Extends Baldwin's lead early on to 9. Later on, Harris with the ball. He's going to drive, kicks it out to Felix Hayes for the 3 ball. That's a nice pretty jumper there from Felix. Baldwin would lead by 12 at halftime. Third quarter we go, more from the Bearcats, up by 3. Hayes misses the 3, but Harris is right there to clean up the mess with the putback, 32-27 Baldwin. But from that point on, it was all Coahoma County. Keon Cosby drains the 3. Then later on for Coahoma, Marcavis Phillips with the grown man jam there. Baldwin's magical season comes to an end after a very hard second half. They're outscored by 25 in the second half. They lose 60-47 to Coahoma. Here's head coach Grant Goolsby and Felix Hayes after the game.
Played a great first half. Come out in the second half, and the pressure just got to us, and we weren't able to take care of it and put it away. And I don't even know how many points we scored in the second half, but they scored a lot on us. Man, it's just hard to say. I mean, it seemed like it was over like that.
Can't explain the way I feel. I mean, we've overcome so much adversity. We fought. We went through so much. And right now, I just can't describe it right now.
If you missed it, over on at 5 on WCBI Sports, 2A Ingomar Lady Falcons look to run it back-to-back today. They get it done. Ingomar is a 2-time defending 2A Girls State Championship. For more on Ingomar, go to our website, WCBI.com. Also, West Point in action right now with the 5A State Championship. We'll have all those highlights tonight on WCBI as well. Last few forecasts coming up next.
WCBI sports coverage of Mississippi High School State Championships is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center, Advanced Medicine, Compassionate Care.
A cool 7-day forecast, low 50s tomorrow. A good chance for some afternoon and evening rain, 55 on Sunday, but we'll see a lot more sunshine by Sunday afternoon. A few more showers possible Monday. Cold stuff Tuesday and Wednesday. Look at those lows, perhaps into the upper 20s once again. And tonight we may see a frost, a freeze likely sometime next week, so winter's holding on here.
As you pointed out already, spring is taking a break.
Yes,
it is.
For spring break, so, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Somebody
well.
had asked the question.
We're working here, though, so
I know,
we're not on
right?
break.
That's right.
It's
But
still winter.
Even though it's going to rain, it's still the weekend.
Absolutely.
We'll take it.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.